In October 2016, Russia launched 4 missiles capable of carrying nuclear warheads. One of these was soon nicknamed Satan II. International news outlets describe it as the strongest nuclear weapon in existence. It has the power to wipe France off the map. In the same month, the Russian Defense Ministry evacuated 40 million citizens in a drill. It justified this drill in response to schizophrenics from America sharpening their atomic weapons for Moscow. The drill came not long after the Kremlin upgraded bomb shelters in its major cities. Moscow's defense infrastructure now includes bunkers capable of holding all of the city's residents in case of a nuclear Armageddon. These actions come at a time of great political instability in the international arena. Many political commentators, like James Stavridis, have suggested we are entering a second Cold War, led by impassioned Russian zeal for developing nuclear capabilities. With an estimated 7,300 warheads, Russia has the world's largest nuclear arsenal. This is enough to render the Earth uninhabitable. Recent tensions with the US have exacerbated anxieties over whether Russia might use these weapons. In October 2016, Russian President Vladimir Putin announced the suspension of a treaty with Washington to end the production of weapons-grade plutonium. The treaty required both countries to destroy 34 tons of the substance, which is a significant component in nuclear weapons. Putin accused the US of secretly using plutonium to produce weapons instead of destroying it. According to journalist Tom Michael, there are also suspicions that the suspension of the treaty is an excuse for Russia to amass even more deadly weapons without reprisal from America. But this is only the latest in a series of Russian antagonisms on the world stage. In 2000, Putin reversed the Russian policy on the use of nuclear weapons. Previously, Russian policy banned the use of first strike attacks. This meant they could only deploy nuclear weapons if they had already been attacked. Putin's alarming turnaround of the so-called de-escalation stance came in the face of heightened Russo-American tensions. Putin claimed that America's increasingly aggressive international posturing gave him no choice but to change this law in the name of international security. In October 2016, the Russian Defense Minister, Sergei Ivanov, said that Russia's nuclear stance was dependent on NATO's position, namely that if NATO maintained an offensive position, it was in Russian interests to do the same. In spring 2016, Putin declined to attend the Nuclear Security Summit in Washington. This was interpreted by journalists like Simon Schuster as a signal of dissent to international law against the use of nuclear weapons. Russian international behavior has also taken on a more violent character in recent years. In 2014, they annexed the Crimea region from the Ukraine in violation of international law and igniting a civil war in the process. Since then, Russia's role in Syria has come under fire. Russia continues to support the Syrian government in the country's ongoing civil war, despite the Assad regime's horrifying human rights record. Disturbingly, Putin has previously said he would be willing to use nuclear weapons against the terrorist group Daesh, which has colonized much of Syria. This was not the first time Putin had implied he would deploy nukes in the Middle East. In April 2016, Russia threatened Saudi Arabia and Turkey with a nuclear strike. A Kremlin source revealed to investigative reporter Robert Parry that Russia was prepared to use nuclear weapons against the countries if they invaded Syria. Yet, it is important to distinguish between threatening to use nuclear weapons and actually using them. As both Turkey and Saudi Arabia are now nuclear states, the ramifications of nuking them would be very significant for Russia. Without further evidence, we could assume Russia's threats are simply political posturing. And while the Russian defense minister's comments were certainly unsettling, he later clarified what he had meant at the time. He assured the rest of the world that Russia had no plans to adopt a first strike nuclear strategy. He said, Russia still regards nuclear weapons as a means of political deterrence. We would not envisage a scenario or a situation where we would use such weapons first. Although Putin said he could not rule out the possibility of using nuclear weapons against Daesh, he qualified this statement by explaining this would only be an extreme last resort. We might want to see this as a mutually assured destruction situation, which first emerged during the Cold War. In these circumstances, adversaries accumulate huge nuclear arsenals to stabilize their diplomatic relationship. As the stakes of attack become so high that releasing a nuke would result in near certain obliteration for both sides, the likelihood of nuclear warfare is minimized. In this case, Sergei Ivanov may be telling the truth. Certainly, Kenneth Waltz and other political scholars argue that Russia is behaving typically for a superpower in an unstable world. This may therefore be a sign that Russia is trying to avoid using its nuclear weapons. Nevertheless, Russia has very significant nuclear capabilities. Its recent international aggression, like annexing Crimea and the violence in Syria, indicate a dangerous future. Its recent reforms to its nuclear policy seem to be a sinister step backwards. And its very public preparations for protecting the heart of its population and political structures indicate Russia is getting ready to strike first. Historically, similar developments can be interpreted as a relatively benign case of self-protection. But Putin is a volatile and unpredictable political leader. Therefore, only time will tell whether a nuclear war is on the horizon.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth of sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami camp, and what you just saw today is pretty much what's going down in these times. All right. The title of this video is going to be Russia will use nuclear weapons to fulfill prophecy, because here at Great Millstone, that's what we teach. We teach prophecy. Yes, we teach about our heritage, our nationality, our history, but we get into prophecy, and that's part of an Israelite custom. That's part of an Israelite heritage, because in order for you to warn your people, you got to tell them what's to come, what is going to happen. All right. And let me get to the first scripture, all right, to prove this case. This is Revelation chapter 22, verse 7. Behold, I come quickly. Now that's the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai, who the world ignorantly calls God, okay, who's going to bring his son, allow his son to judge the world, in which is Yahweh Shai, all right, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus, all right. Blessed is he that keepeth the sayings of the prophecy of this book. All right. And that's what we do here at Great Millstone. We get into the Bible, we get into words, and we're telling you about what's to come and what's going to happen. And Russia is going to nuke America. OK, there is no denying this. OK, all you have to do is do a little bit of homework, do a little bit of research to see that Russia is getting tired of NATO, especially America, who's pulling the strings of NATO. All right. So now let me get into an article to prove this case that what's going on with NATO, okay, antagonizing Russia. This is from the Daily Star. This just recently came out. It says Britain stages largest ever World War III drill on Russian border amid nuke threats. Britain has stoked tensions with Russia by joining NATO's largest ever war games right in Vladimir Putin's backyard. Okay. So there you have it. This is actually a picture of the U.S. 173rd Airborne Brigade prepare a simulated attack. So you have Britain as well as all these other NATO countries, specifically America, okay, engaging in a training, okay, to if they were had to combat against Russia. It goes on and says almost 4,000 troops from 11 NATO states, including UK, US, and Canada, are practicing for World War III in Lithuania. The military drills, dubbed Iron Sword, are believed to be a preparation of a new NATO super army meant to stop Putin invading Eastern Europe. All right? They are carrying out World War III dry run just miles from Russian nuclear-capable missiles in Kaliningrad. All right, and I got a map to show exactly where Lithuania is and Kaliningrad. And Kaliningrad is right here. Now, Kaliningrad is the capital of a Russian province. All right, so the Russians own this territory. All right, and they have their citizens here as well as nuclear capabilities here. And the NATO, more specifically America, is training all up around here. So this is pissing off Russia, and they're seeing this. All right, because this is called an aggressive action towards their province. Now, why is this happening? Is because the Lord is about to judge you so-called white people, man, you Edomites, all right? Because all this is the build-up to World War III, all right? And that's why these Russians are going to use the nukes on America, because they know America's the one causing all the problems. So let's get to another scripture to prove that this judgment, this World War III being stirred up, is because of what you so-called white people did, okay, to our people, okay? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Starting with Judah. All right, this is the book of Psalms 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem. Now, this is King David saying this because this is going back into the time of antiquity. All right, what was going on when the southern kingdom, okay, the first temple in the southern, and where the temple was built by King Solomon was destroyed by the Babylonians and you so-called white people, you Edomites, all right? It goes on and says, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof, all right? So that's destroying the temple. And if you don't believe, I got an article from Bible history to prove that. It says, the Edomites raided Judah. The Edomites helped the Babylonian armies in their destruction. When Nebuchadnezzar besieged Jerusalem, the Edomites joined him and took an active part in the plunder of the city and slaughter of the Jews. Their cruelty at that time seems to be especially referred to in Psalms 137. See, and there's the scripture. It was an account of these acts of cruelty committed against the Jews in the day of their calamity that the Edomites were so fearfully denounced by the later prophets. And these are all the scriptures, okay, backing that, all right? So there you have it, man. You so-called white people, you have to pay for what you did in your past life, okay? That's how you go. That's why judgment is coming to you so-called white people here in America and wherever you're residing at, okay? So let's get back to the scripture again. This is the book of Psalms 137, verse 7. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. Verse 8. O daughter of Babylon. See, that's how you know this is talking about America, because you Americans, you took on the customs of Babylon, okay, which means confusion, man. You took on all these customs of all these other nations, man, and you decided to push that American Babylonian custom throughout the four corners of the earth. All right, that's why the Lord is going to judge America the harshest out of all these other nations, man. Okay? It says, who are to be destroyed. That's right, you're going to be destroyed. Happy shall he be, that's talking about the Lord, Yahweh Shai, that rewarded thee as thou hast served us. And that's talking about you, how you served the so-called black, Hispanics, and Native Americans. Okay, you treated us badly. All right? You poison our food, you poison our water, you shoot us dead on the streets. Okay? You've done terrible things. All you gotta do is look at the news, look at just this history of so-called blacks and Hispanics. Okay, so you have to pay for this, and that's the reason why the Lord's bringing judgment, which is the nuclear weapons to destroy you peons here in America, man. So it behoove you so-called white people, okay, who are the biblical Edomites, if you have any type of inclination, any type of brain, to flee America, because America is going to be destroyed by the Russians, all right? The Lord's going to make sure of that. So let's get to another article to prove that. Goes on and says, Russian senator promises nuclear response to NATO expansion, okay? It says, in response to NATO's efforts to enlist new member countries, a member of the Defense and Security Committee for Russia's upper house has said that Russia will target any sites it considers to be a threat with nuclear weapons. All right, and this article came out November 25th. All right, so this is recent, man. All right, the Russians ain't playing games. Okay, you Americans are toast. Let me continue on. Quote, in reply to NATO's aggressive action to the alliance attempts to draw more and more nations into their orbit, there will be a harsh and ambiguous response from Russia's side. We will aim our weapons, including the nuclear ones, at any of the alliance's site that would threaten us, wherever these sites are placed. Okay, so these Russians are targeting all you simple Americans who want to play little war games. Okay, they're targeting you. All right, and this is coming from the RIA Novosti, quoted Senator Franz Klintsevich as saying. Okay, and I believe this is a Russian state media organization. Okay, the senator also explained that by nuclear weapons he meant both stationary land-based systems, talking about that Satan II, and mobile weapons, including sea and air-based systems. Okay, talking about your Navy ships, your fighter jets. Okay, so the Russians got it all covered. They're gonna come land, air, and sea. All right, to take you Americans out because you've been causing a problem to them. All right. Now let me get to scripture to show that this is the judgment, man. This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, verse 11. Make bright the arrows, gather the shields. The Lord has raised up the spirit of the kings of the Medes. See, this is the Lord's doing. This is Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai's doing. All right. This is not of man. You have no free will. This is going to happen. You will die here in America, man. Okay? If you're not an Israelite of the elect. So, the hell with you so-called white people, man. You are toast. You so-called black, Spanish, and Native Americans. All right? The Lord is stirring up the Medes as we speak. You better get right in the mind. You need to come back to your heritage. You need to come back to your customs. You need to throw away being black, Hispanic, and Native American, and know that you're an Israelite, okay, from the 12 tribes, okay. You're Jacob's sons, man. All right. Abraham begot Isaac. Isaac begot Jacob. Jacob is the progenitor of the 12 tribes of Israel. Okay, you are a royal bloodline. Wake up. The Lord is stirring up the Medes as we speak. He's going to allow the Russians to use nuclear warfare on America, man, and that's America's judgment. All right. And it goes on and says, for his devices against Babylon, which is America, to destroy it, because it is the vengeance of the Lord, the vengeance of his temple. That's right. This is the Lord's vengeance. All right. There is no getting out of it. All right. You cannot, overthrow prophecy. All right. This is prophecy, and we're seeing prophecy happening as we speak. So now let's get to another article. All right, yeah, this real quickly, just to prove that there are missiles in Kaliningrad. So no simpleton can't say that, how do we know there's missiles in Kaliningrad? Because Reuters, did an article on this on October 8th. Russia moves nuclear-capable missiles into Kaliningrad. All right, so there you have it. Just to prove that, once again, Russia is being pushed by NATO, all right, in Lithuania, and Russia is now going to have to retaliate, all right? And this is the buildup to World War III, and it's going to happen. Let's get another thing that's coming out, that came out recently, which is beautiful. This is from the Daily Mail. Russia successfully tests stealth nuke train that can travel 1,500 miles a day and blend in with other locomotives before launching its missiles. So you got the Russians planning all types of ways to attack, you stupid Americans, all right? And this is rightfully so, man, because you people in America, you're prideful. And the Lord is going to allow these Russians to lay a heavy blow on your pride, man. Russia is developing a secret nuke train which can travel 1,500 miles in a day towards Putin's enemies before launching rockets. So that's crazy. It said it could travel towards Putin's enemies before launching rockets. So let's go back to the map. Look at this. All right. Look, this is Russia. So Russia can stealth, come right through into these nations and set up shop and launch from them trains and launch a nuke. And he could go all the way into France. or Poland. He's got the technology, okay? They got what's, all right? He's got the technology to take out France with ease. So this article is not far-fetched. This article is not fake news. I mean, this is reality. It says the trains packed with ballistic missiles will be disguised as ordinary passenger or freight trains, making them virtually impossible to detect. Yeah. So Putin could send a train into one of these countries. They think it's just a freight train. They think it's just an ordinary passenger train. Putin might be so slick with it, okay? Well, I mean, the Russians, that they'll have people, just regular Russians and other citizens on that train, while one of the last carts has a nuclear ballistic missiles in it, all right? And you can't detect it. So that goes to show you, like, how these Russians are getting ready to go to nuclear war, okay, on you idiots, man. Chilling test footage shows the trains can be stopped in these tracks at a moment's notice to deploy the huge rocket launchers. It sounds like something from James Bond, but the trains are one step closer to being put into use. All right, and it says the menacing missiles carry 4 huge 250 kiloton warheads and have a range as long as 6,800 miles, man. So that can go pretty much anywhere just from these trains alone. So, man, you people, you ain't ready, man. You clowns in America and those in Europe, y'all not ready for nuclear war, man, because it's about to go down, okay? And it behoove you so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans to wake up. Wake the hell up, all right? All right, because we're in the spirit of prophecy. In fact, I want to bring this out, Salakia. This out right here. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do and not. I am thy fellow servant, and of thy brethren that have the testimony of Yahushai. Worship Yahweh. For the testimony of Yahushai is the spirit of prophecy. So if you're coming in speaking about Yahushai, you're supposed to be in the spirit of prophecy, talking about what's about to happen. The Lord's coming, the great judgment, okay? The great wrath on America, which is known as Babylon in the scriptures. So if you're not in prophecy like we are at Great Millstone, you off, man. You're not preaching the right doctrine. All right, so let's get to the final scripture, and I'm going to close out. This is Isaiah 24, starting at 20. Isaiah chapter 24, starting at 20. The earth shall reel to and fro like a drunkard, and shall be removed like a cottage. Okay, that's right, because when them nukes start hitting all over these major cities, man, the earth is going to move, man. Everybody's going to feel. That's how powerful these nukes are going to light these cities up, especially here in America, okay? And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it. That's right, because what's the transgression? Breaking the laws, all right? Committing acts of iniquity, being wicked. And America is the pinnacle of wickedness. It promotes homosexuality. It promotes transgender. It promotes adultery. It promotes over-sexualism. All right. It promotes what's it called? Pride. Okay. Being self-righteous in terms of you think you're in control of your destiny. Being Godhead. All right. So America is working the left-hand side, all right? And you could see it just by these major news articles coming out of how wicked DC is with pedophilia, all right? Spirit cooking. I mean, I could go on and on and on. All right? And the transgression thereof shall be heavy upon it, and it shall fall and not rise again, all right? Because it's not going to rise. America's not coming back. There ain't no coming back. America's over. All right, it's going to be destroyed, and those that are not part of the elect of Israel, you're going to die here in America with the heathen, with the so-called white man, and the rest of these nations that want to stay here and show loyalty to this wicked-ass nation. All right, verse 21, and it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of the earth upon the earth. Who's that talking about? Who are these high ones that are on high and the kings of the earth? Upon there, that's talking about the Illuminati, the Jesuit order, the Rosicrucian, these fuck boys, okay? These homosexuals, these Edomites, okay? These are who the Lord's going to visit and punish, man. Salakia, all right? So it behooves you so-called black Hispanics and Native Americans to come out of Babylon, America. Get out of its philosophy, because the Lord's coming to judge these devils, all of them, all right? The Rothschild family, okay? This demon, the Jesuit Pope Adolfo Nicolas, okay? Okay, this faggot, all right? This homosexual, Henry Kissinger, that fuckboy. I mean, all of them. Lloyd Blankfein, CEO of Goldman Sachs. All these fucking people the Lord's going to get, man, all right? And what's he going to do to them? Let's get back to the scriptures, all right? Slakia. That the Lord shall punish the host of the high ones that are on high, and the kings of earth upon the earth. Verse 22. And they shall be gathered together as prisoners are gathered in the pit. So the Lord, okay, who's coming back via UFOs, okay, so-called UFOs, which are the chariots, okay, he's coming back in these beautiful creation, okay, he created this, all right, chariots. I don't have a word for it right now, okay, but he's coming back in these to gather these heathens up for prisoners. You so-called white people, man, you elite, you Illuminati, you're going into prison when the Lord comes back. This is called prophecy. A future prophecy is about to happen, all right? So what the hell are you doing? Basically, what you're doing, building bunkers, going onto your private islands, all you're doing is just staging yourself for the mass prison camp, because in reality you're going into a prison camp, okay, and you're never coming out, all right? And scriptures prove this. Let's get back to the scriptures again. Salakia. As prisoners are gathered in a pit, and shall be shut up in the prison, and after many days they shall be visited. And who's going to visit them? Of course, Yahweh Shai, okay, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus. It's going to be him and his elect, 144,000, okay, and the 1/3, okay. They're going to be able to bring you devils out. Let's get back to it, okay. Let's get back to the, okay, you devils, okay, you're going to be visited by Yahweh Shai, all right? In fact, let me get it better. You're going to be visited by Yahweh Shai, okay? And his elect are going to put you in slavery, and you're going to do hard work for 1,000 years, all right? That's why, like, once again, when them Russians start launching them nukes, it's over for y'all, all right? So live it up now, okay? Because when them Russians start launching them nukes, which they're going to do to fulfill prophecy, okay, the Lord's going to come in that time, and you're going to see, okay, this is the depiction. We don't worship it, okay, but this is a depiction of what he will look like according to the scriptures. We read Revelation chapter 1 starting at 13, okay, verse 13, all right? So I hope this was edifying, all right? When the Russians start launching them nukes, it's game over for you Illuminati, you so-called white people, all right? You Jesuits and all, and you Freemasons, okay? Especially you Freemasons, okay? All right. So with that, in fact, let me finish it off, okay? With that, I want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and salutation to the Akim out there pushing the truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. Love you, brothers. Keep pushing. Keep doing the work. Love watching y'all videos, okay? And we're almost out of here. And you already know our slogan, 1, 2, 3, death to America. Shalom.